49 Sparks.
Hi, I'm Uta.
And I'm Chris.
And this is 49 Sparks on Design.
At 49sparks.com.
Jean-Benoit Levy invited us to participate in a very cool project which he is doing with his students from the San Jose State University.
Yeah, and it's all about the StreetSheet, which is a publication that homeless people can sell on the streets to make some money. And they're trying to redesign this. And what they did yesterday is they all went into the city, and with the help of the Coalition on Homelessness, they actually sold some of these things, and the proceeds went to some of the homeless people that helped out. It was so much fun. Uta even sold one for $1. That was really cool.
Hard.
Yeah, I can believe it. You'll see how hard it was. Watch this. It was so much fun.
You can say the name of the Coalition on Homelessness. You can ask for a donation. That's fine. You're not asking for a donation for the Coalition on Homelessness. That needs to be clear.
Can you say StreetSheet?
You can say StreetSheet. You can say pretty much whatever these guys suggest that you say.
StreetSheet, any donation.
You're not suggesting a donation for the.
But you cannot say StreetSheet $1.
No, you cannot. You can say StreetSheets, could you help with any donation? That's all I want my group to say.
Bob, you're organizing this with the StreetSheet, or you're involved in this, and what is it that you do exactly, and what is all this about?
I'm the editor of the StreetSheet.
Oh, okay.
It's a monthly publication. The idea is basically to educate the public in San Francisco about the causes of homelessness and the issues that attend.
Mm-hmm. I just talked to Stanley, who's, I guess he does it mostly every day or a lot, and he says for him it doesn't matter what it looks like, and so it did seem to matter a lot what it says in it and what's written in there, but not so much what it looks like. So I mean, and from your perspective, I mean, how important is what the thing looks like?
Well, okay, I mean, you've got two different things going on. The StreetSheet serves two purposes, and I mean, the first purpose is that we're trying to educate the public, get them to understand why homelessness exists in America better. But the second purpose is for the 230 people who are out here selling it every month to make a supplementary income. So for me, the reason that it matters how it looks, the reason that the way that it looks matters is because that's going to draw people into reading what's actually in it. We want people reading the content. We want them to understand what's going on in San Francisco and around the country. And a cleaner content, a more engaging content is going to entice them to read more.
And now, I don't want to sound too negative, but some of the people here, they said, well, a lot of people, they just give them a donation and they don't even take the paper. So as an editor, I mean, how important, or do you get a lot of feedback that people are actually reading it and that it's making a difference what you're writing or what's being written there?
We get a lot of people who read it, but they're also, I mean, I think that probably the majority of people who StreetSheet vendors deal with, well, majority is to ignore them, but beyond that, people are getting a donation. It's the charity impulse. People are hit with a ton of different things every day. They get flyers from Scientologists, they get flyers from nail salons, a bunch of things that they don't want to read, and this happens to be one of them. Now, we think that what's in there is very important, but in terms of their day-to-day life, it's not something they want to think about.
Right. Okay, well, thank you very, very much. This is a really, absolutely cool project. I love it.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see how this is going on.
It's really cool, thank you. Jean-Benoit, the StreetSheet, that is an awesome project that you guys are doing here. So, what is this about?
Well, you know, every city has a street newspaper in order to help homeless people and people who have not much money. So the vendors have to sell it, and me as a graphic designer and instructor, I thought of redesigning this. I mean, San Francisco is a great city for graphic design, very visual, full of graphic designer. And when I came here, I saw this newspaper all over, didn't know what it was. So I came to the idea to give this as a graphic assignment to my student at the San Jose State University. First try to redesign the logo. Right now you see it the way it is now, but we're trying to redesign this. And so today I brought my class here in San Francisco, and they're selling or trying to sell the StreetSheets.
And so, as a designer, what is wrong with the design here, or is it wrong, or what can be improved?
Okay, it's a real big challenge because the people are on a hurry, and this is a donation, so you're not supposed to sell it, so it's quite difficult. And I think the challenge is very, very high for graphic designer. You hold it as a vendor, it's folded in two pieces, and you have somehow to attract the people. You have in a few seconds to be able to say what is the content, what it is for.
Now, I was talking to Stanley, who's doing this pretty much every day. He's selling these street sheets, and he said he doesn't think that the design really makes a difference. So, what would you say to Stanley?
That's what we're trying. You know, we're trying to find a way. Like in the other corner of the street, I have 3 students. They have wrote some little boards, and I don't know if they're going to make more money. But what we're trying to do is even to change the content.
And so, what did your students say when you told them about the project?
My students were interested. They didn't know where it will bring them. You know, that it will bring them in the streets. But they were interesting. But that's the problem. Often graphic designers, they don't know the products very well, and that's what they have to learn. So
Did you just try to sell one or a couple?
Yeah, I couldn't. My students are way more better than me. I couldn't. Actually, this one is very good. This one, he sold everything.
Really? Wow. So I'm gonna have to ask him, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No luck. But they're nice Italian people.
So can I ask you a couple of questions?
Absolutely.
Do you mind? So I'm sorry. Your name is
Jeremy.
Jeremy. So Jeremy, you were just Jean-Benoit said you were the best seller.
I don't know about that.
You don't know about that, but
I don't know about that.
You were really, I guess, successful. So, what did it feel like selling these?
It was a lot of fun. It was interesting. Makes me reflect more on the visual appearance of this newspaper. I think it could be a lot more attractive.
And what do you think needs to change?
Well, the imagery definitely, like having a toilet on the front page, isn't very attractive.
Right.
But that's okay, because this is really, I mean, this is done by content writers, not by visual designers, and hopefully we can help with that. So.
And so I guess you also sort of did your own design for the newspaper. And what was going What was going through your mind when you were doing that, working on that?
I focused a lot on first the organization of the content, because there is quite a bit on the front page, and I think there could be more to draw people in. And then I worked more closely with the graphics, and obviously redid the type, and redid the logo. But then I tried to put in some more sophisticated graphics, probably more than what their department could do in terms of cropping imagery rather than just doing square images, doing transparent backgrounds. But for the sake of my portfolio, I thought that would be interesting. So.
And so what do you think a redesign and a good redesign will do for the paper? Do you think people are going to get more money?
Absolutely, it'll increase the sellability of it, I'm sure. You know, and having a more interesting logo, making it more contemporary, shows that obviously that this is an organization that keeps up on what's going on in the world. So that's what I'm hoping.
Okay,
it's a fun project.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. All right, well, thanks a lot.
All right, thank you very much.
All right. So could I ask you, I mean, you're one of the students that's with Jean-Benoit, right?
Right.
And so what is the idea behind this, and why are you doing this?
Well, we just try to help the homeless people to, I guess, help with their living. Because San Francisco, I mean, like, living situation for them is really hard. Especially right now, for us, it's hard to sell. And
Right. And so you also did one of the redesigns, a trial redesign.
Oh, yeah.
And so what was going through your mind? What was going through your mind while you were doing that redesign?
Well, I wanted to communicate to the people, like the general public, that we're not trying to tell them. We're not trying to tell them directly what they are, but through our images, that we're trying to communicate to the general public that homeless people need help, and that's why we're redesigning it, so people will actually look at it, and not just like some people just donate, but they don't know about it. Right. So yeah, that's the point of redesigning it, I guess.
Now I just asked Stanley over there, who's doing this pretty much every day, and I asked him, does it matter to him what it looks like, and he said no, not really.
Oh.
And so I'm just wondering, I mean, what does that mean for the design, and what do you think about that?
That's kind of odd. I don't know. Well, to me, like, packaging works. Like, if I were to buy like a microphone over something that looks cheaply packaged, I would probably buy the, yeah. So to me, the packaging works. But I guess to them, people really don't look at it because they really just wave at them. They don't really look at it. So, I mean, if for some people, if they're interested in it, they would probably look at it and read it. They go, oh, that looks interesting. Maybe I'll buy it and look at it. Like that.
Okay, cool. Well, thanks a lot. Thank you. Good luck.
Thanks. Maybe you'll donate to me.
You gotta sew them.
$49.